creative space, in a mind space, in a mindset space, nobody's above nobody. You can't you can't everything can't be measured by checks and how much money you got. You know what I'm saying? Creativity is in a whole nother lane. Like, energy and mindset is the value. It's not the money. Oh yeah. Man, if you ever pay close attention to anybody, every time somebody say something, they already know. I used to do this. I used to do that. Instead of receiving the information and processing the information and looking at it from a standpoint where I don't know, or even if I do know, shut up and just listen and learn. Because if you already knew, why are you telling somebody who's telling you something that you already knew? Because if they already knew too, how are we gonna grow in the situation? So sometimes you have to know who you talking to, who you dealing with, and know when to shut up and when to speak. Um, Sometimes people use the money as bait to see how you gonna tap in and how they gonna be able to manipulate you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes artists understand that if you gonna give me 100 million, but if I can make 10 million a month, if I can make 10 million every 2 or 3 months, I can get to 100 million in less than a year. So if you just dump 100 million on me at one time, what's the difference in me making 100 million over 8 month to a year time? What's the difference? There's really no difference. The only difference is, did you fall for the banana in the tailpipe? Because what comes with them giving you 100 million versus you having full control if you go make your own 100 million. And if you look at at what you're doing and you can forecast what you're doing, your growth based off of what you're seeing, you can easily see that you're gonna hit that number. Why take that number in a hurry? Because slow money stack faster than fast money. It's stacked taller than fast money. Because when you get fast money, you do fast. You spend money fast.
That's a fact. Right.
Yep. But the money gonna run out. When the money run out, if I give you 100 million and you used to making 100 million and the money slow down, then you got to restructure, revamp, and cut back and figure out how you gonna, you know what I'm saying? If you let the money dictate your lifestyle, rather than understand I'm gonna live the way I'm living, and whatever I'm making is not gonna dictate that, so it's just gonna pile up because it doesn't. I'm not buying a $20 million house because I've just made $100 million. I think it really comes from not being financially literate is one thing. Most of us coming from no money.
Nothing.
I was fortunate enough. My dad, mom wasn't rich, but my dad was very financially literate when it came to saving and investing and being disciplined with your money and understanding how money grows and how money can be spent so fast when you buying stuff that even if you got the money, sometimes you really can't afford it. when you really think about it in the big picture and when you think about your future. You know what I'm saying? Just say, because you got $500,000 don't mean that you go out and spend $150,000 on a car. To you, to some people, they think they can afford it, but somebody who's financially literate would be like, I'm not about to spend 30% of my money on a car.
It's crazy.
It's gonna depreciate. Exactly. Yep. But that's the people. That's the mentality of a person who's making fast money. They don't understand that slow money stacked taller than that fast money. It sounds good, but if there's any problems, it's a lot further to fall if you making fast money. You know what I'm saying? Just say, hypothetically speaking, you hustling, you in the street, you selling drugs, and you lose your connect. Versus if you working, you got a 5-year contract and you good at what you do, knowing you're gonna get another contract, you're gonna get another contract, you're gonna get another contract. You know what I'm saying? That if you depending on the percentage of your income that you saving, the amount may not be as much, but the value is. Because the value is from a mental standpoint and from a realistic standpoint on what it's really worth to you as a person versus that number. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have 200 million and you can have 10 million and I can't do nothing that you can't do. You know what I'm saying? If it's all mental, because if you buy a yacht for 100 million and if I buy a yacht for 2 million, I'm still on the water. I'm still having a good time, so it doesn't matter about the amount or the size of what I bought. It's my personal preference of what I'm doing and what makes me happy personally versus trying to impress the other people that's doing the same thing I'm doing.
It's lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Yeah, your values. Yeah. The slow money stack fat, stack taller. Um, a lot of artists are getting lost because of what the internet brings to the game. Because a lot of people are being misinformed by watching what's going on the internet. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different moving parts when it comes to the music business and entertainment, from the management side to the performance side to the music side to the recording side to the fashion side, how you want to look, how you present yourself. It's so many different, how you travel. It's so many different elements when it comes to that. And for somebody just getting into the business because they went viral, or they put a single out and it blew up, or they made a song. Like I played a song on the radio yesterday from a kid that records all of his music on his phone. He produced the beats himself, records his vocals, and mixes his songs on his phone. So it's like, how much education could he possibly have about the music industry and the business side that he hasn't been introduced to yet?
I mean, but what do you think artists in the past were introduced to that too?
Some of them were. I mean, a lot of artists have educated themselves before rather than after. You got a few. It's not a whole lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of artists was ignorant then.
Oh yeah.
They just was like that's why we got all them horror stories. I feel like the internet just like reversed it. Like at first you had it was like a healthy, to me the gatekeeping was healthy. It was like you had people who were in position to recognize talent, take it under their wing, properly cultivated and groom it to a point to where it's ready to be presented to the world, and we had real superstars because these they were chosen, kind of like how, obviously our people, you know what I'm saying, we did it, but then even on the other side, when you had like Nickelodeon and you had Disney, and they grabbing little kids, and they Disney Channel, and then they get to dancing, and then you get a Britney Spears, or you know what I'm saying, a Timberlake or whatever. But like, I feel like that was when we had bigger stars, because the people that were in charge of it were like they was like really holding it down and not letting nothing in that they wouldn't, like, they had a whole system in place. I feel like the internet just flooded the gates, and it gave the artists more power, so now everybody could get more money. But it made the new execs, instead of being leaders, they started following. So instead, they just looking at algorithms and
everything
going,
was based off of research and
right,
data.
okay, what is that song doing? Oh, the song's getting shorter now? Okay, it's like they stopped challenging their listener. They stopped, they stopped like the education, the part of where, hey, we know it ain't about what you think you like. We know what's good, and we gonna give you what's good, and that's why you gonna get up and go to the store and buy this record. You gonna go buy this tape, buy this CD, buy it. It's like it went complete 180, where now you don't get up and go get nothing. It's on your phone. You just can go to it, hit up.
Well, they
tap your
make
finger.
the whole game of life for this generation, or where we are right now, is all about manipulation and convenience.
True.
It's easy for us to be manipulated if everything is so easy for us to do.
Right.
Man, I was thinking the other day about starting a challenge, a no cell phone challenge. Can you do without your cell phone for a whole day? Can you do without your phone for a week or 2 or 3 days? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think, it used to be the only phone was in the house. You had to wait till you got home, or wait till you was at a job, or go to a payphone to make a phone call.
You used to actually have to just be stopped at somebody's house without calling, and just you might be with your mama in the car, and then she drives. I'm finna go to your auntie and see if she home. What, just that, and then just pull up in her driveway and knock on her door, and she didn't know nobody was coming into her house until she heard.
Right. Or unless you called her before you left home,
Yeah.
and say, I might stop by there.
Right.
But it's like the top 1% knows that we are so lazy when it comes to all this different technology that they're giving us. And it's the same way in the music business.
Right.
It's like for the artists who were educated even back in the day, before even this technology existed, period, the artists who were smart, who understood the game, that knew how to break themselves and go hit the chitlin circuit and do shows in the clubs, they got the best deals.
Facts.
Because they educated themselves.
Facts.
But then you had the artists who were found by the A&R directors and got screwed because they didn't know what they was doing. It was the same way. Right. It was the same situation. Right. It's just a different time and a different space where people was taking advantage of these artists because they hadn't educated themselves. So then you went from people saying they selling records out of the trunk. So it's all art. It's not science. And unfortunately, for people who don't educate themselves, not just in music, but in anything, if you're not educated and you're not surrounding yourself with people who can help you when you're making these moves, and you think you smart and you know everything because you got a niche or because you got some popularity or you got some product, but you don't know anything about business, there's a big chance that you gonna jump out the window and somebody's gonna take advantage of you knowing that you don't know.
True. But even the artists that, like, the ones in the past that were developed, I feel like at some point, the people that were taking advantage of them, they kind of felt justified because they like, I found you, I put you, like, it wasn't, everybody didn't have Pro Tools in their house with a bunch of software and plugins. They had actual hardware that cost millions of dollars. So in order for you to even be in this building recording, it's because we chose you and we created you and molded you. Whereas now, like you said, everything is in his phone. Literally, the whole studio, everything, pre-production, post-production is all in his phone. So if he go viral, he turn up. It's like he may have never even been in front of an audience before he ever went viral. The first audience he probably ever seen was, I mean, that ain't even far fetched. I want to say, we can ask Trinidad James. We can ask him what was his first audience. His first audience probably was 10,000 people or something. The first time he actually went and performed for people, because he had a record that went big.
I remember he used to perform at Beer and Tacos and Little 5 Points.
Yeah,
a lot.
I'm talking about like as far as like a real like show. You know what I'm saying? Like going on like the road, like on some like I'm finna hit the like a lot of artists, a lot of folks was swagging. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We'd be out there kind of just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Do a little, but playing like not really serious.
Well, his record, fortunately for him, was a record that was big into a space where the demand was so big for the record that he could demand the type of money to be able to go into those type of spaces.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're
but
saying.
what I mean is like in the sense that he wasn't one of them kids that was like, okay, you've been performing your whole life, you just been, you know what I'm saying, dancing and in front of the mirror practicing it's like, you know what I'm saying, bro had the sauce, he had it, and he just it was like,
I think he had been practicing
low key.
I think he had been low key practicing and
we got
honing his skills behind the scenes before he got access
Okay.
to. Because I remember when he first blew up. I remember meeting Fly on Howard Mill, talking about his project and what he was gonna try to do with him. Because remember, everybody was trying to sign him.
Yup.
Everybody, remember Chubby Baby, I think, was trying to take him to Sony. Fly was trying to sign him. Like he had a real bidding war just from what he had created in Little 5 Points through Beer and Tacos with that one song. But the record was so big and it was so different. Like you don't get stuff like that. But
and it was so different for the city. It was like everything was like at that point it was like trap.
Everything was trap, and it was different. Yeah. It was almost kind of like an American version when CeeLo and Danger Mouse created Gnarls Barkley, because people don't realize Gnarls Barkley didn't blow up in the States. People in Atlanta when they first came out, I remember people calling the radio station telling they co-workers like, y'all don't even know that's CeeLo from Goody Mob. People didn't even know because they leaked that song overseas and it came to the States. Trinidad James' song was made in the States and started in the streets of Atlanta through the whole little hippie community, the hipster community, and just the alternative. Not just.
It was because you saying it right, because it was just the streets. It was even though the music had other.
It was the streets, but it was like you said, it was like the underground hipster side.
Yeah. It was like it wasn't. But Trinidad was like he was like the top. He was the first person, the one that came through and like kicked the door down for that whole.
Yeah, for that whole movement.
Yeah, because before, if you wasn't talking about, you know what I'm saying,
right?
Unless you,
but I mean, the record,
Outkast,
the record was just so dope.
Yeah, it was.
Like the record was just so dope. It was really like one of them undeniables, almost like when Mabu came, or like when Yin Yang Twins came.
It's a classic record.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like, it was so different. But the first time you heard it, you was like, yeah, this one of them ones right here.
And it was like a first time flow too, right? That's like the first time you heard somebody rapping that cadence, like the way it was this for all my, like the way it was just kind of like in pocket. Like,
and that's why I kind of think he was rehearsing and just honing his skills on a level of creativity that people weren't really thinking about.
Okay.
You know, just I'm about to take a chance on myself.
Okay.
I'm about to take a chance on myself and jump out the window with something that everybody's gonna look at as weird, but it's so dope. It's really not weird. It's just creative. That's where it started. Like, that was the foundation.
Yeah, he had the whole.
He had that whole little Beer and Tacos night.
Whole mix.
Crazy. Yeah.
Just one, yeah.
I don't think he was there every week.
Yeah.
But once the record started getting the buzz, those are the places where you heard it. On Edgewood, Beer and Tacos.
The whole mix.
Those Little 5 Points, those were the places where you heard it. But it blew up so fast, it started spreading so fast, because what you got to understand about the hipster movement is the hipster movement now is not just a bunch of weirdos. Yeah. It's a lot of regular people. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with with the Fringe Fridays and them line dancing parties. And I'm not talking about the trail riding shit. I'm talking about like just the line dancing parties and the line dancing weekends where you got these people and these DJs, DJ Pay Me, DJ Dirty, and these different DJs that play this music. Some of these songs you ain't never heard before, and these people come in the club and dance all night. They never stop dancing. But most of the clubs we go to, nobody's dancing. But if you ever went to one of these parties, you'd be like, man, what the hell?
They had the bonfires, all the skaters.
Yep.
2-9 them was out there. Then Coach have a group called Hollyweird. Like
Yep,
one Tukey
Hollyweird.
was Tukey. And I forgot that girl name.
It's on the tip of my tongue. And what was her name? Somebody was just talking about her the other day. Yeah, Hollywood, and Coach had a girl too.
Yep.
She was real popular.
She was popping.
Was it Muff Mummy?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was real popular in the streets.
She was. Lord, I went like a hipster girl, like what Atlanta version of a hipster, because it ain't like the New York. It wasn't like them. It was different. Yeah.
It was like the cool. It was kind of like the
sneakerheads.
Yeah, the sneakerheads, skateboarders. But it was like a different little wave. It was different from like the Lupe Fiascos. Right. It was a little different. Like Lupe was more hip hop. Right. It's the backpacker, but it still had Atlanta had like a different little sauce to it.
Yeah, it was like because Atlanta is like trapped out, so it wasn't like New York. It was like
right.
Yeah, it just wasn't the.
Because what was the name of Jesse and them group?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do. What's the name of that group? It'll come to me. I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
One of the lead singers' name was Jesse. Watch the Duck.
Yeah, that one, he was hard.
Because you got to think like the other little group that signed to
Father and them was out here.
The other little group is hot right now, and they don't even really have no records that people even know in Atlanta. Not Watch the Duck. What's the other little group?
You'll have to say it.
Since the 80s with JID.
Oh, yeah.
No, not Spillage Village. It's another group.
Yeah.
Earth Gang.
Earth Gang, yeah.
Name me 2 Earth Gang songs.
I listen to Earth Gang.
But I mean, the average person couldn't name you 2 or 3 Earth Gang songs.
Right.
Because I'm the type of person that, like, if I'm in the car, if I'm driving, right, the homies is like, yo, we don't turn on that Earth Gang shit. Like, we don't want to hear none of that. Like, it ain't no shooting, it ain't no killing each other. My chakra, right? Yeah.
Mm.
So I see exactly what you're saying, because there is, I mean, it's an audience for it. That's just shit there. But I tell people, it's like, these niggas, they touring around the world.
Getting stupid tricks.
Okay.
Like the artists that you want to listen to, like a YG Tech, and no knock to these dudes, but they can't go across the seas or overseas.
But I really like those type of groups because it's like you get a chance to live a different type of life. Like you get a chance to live a regular life, but you got the money of a superstar rapper. The world don't look at you as a superstar rapper, but they do at the bank. You know what I'm saying? You can walk around without no security. You can walk around and, somebody will recognize you every now and then, but it's not going to be no drama. You can walk through the mall and it's not going to be crazy, but at the same time, if you're out here making $100,000, $150,000 a show and you're doing 2 or 3 tours a year, you good.
None of the pressure.
Because you got to think all the extra fluff that it takes to live the lifestyle of one of those artists who need the security and the gates and all that extra stuff. The money that you spending for that, you need it. It's the offset. So it's like a person who making half of the money you making without those different demands and those different necessities and that different lifestyle.
They really got more money.
They got more money than you. Yeah, you got more peace, and you got more peace.
Because like you said, once you get there, like you can't go back. Like regardless of how big you get, you're not gonna get small enough to the point where you don't need security.
Right.
Unless you just like start showing up everywhere. Like if you go into the grocery store, Kroger every Wednesday at 7 o'clock,
Yep.
maybe you know what I'm saying, you start to get to that point where people be like, oh, I see Cubs all the time. I see Barry Tree at the store all the time.
Atlanta a special city like that though. That's Atlanta specifically. Like I feel like Atlanta used to that. It's like that's why it's like Black Hollywood. Like how you in Hollywood, you might just see. You know what I'm saying? You don't actor. You don't ain't no telling who you gonna see. Like everybody act. You be in the Uber and they be like, yeah, I'm about to go read some lines in an hour. Like everybody here is you go in the Uber, they got a mixtape or they got some songs on the Untitled to play for you. Like I feel like Atlanta is you gonna just see somebody. You gonna see somebody at Lennox. You just gonna see them. You gonna see them at Chops or wherever restaurant.
Man, it's so many people. It's so many artists.
Yeah.
It's so many people in the game. So many artists in the game. Like you say, you're gonna see them everywhere. You're gonna see them at the schools. You're gonna see them in the malls. You're gonna see them everywhere you go. You know, somebody, you go doing some business. Or you do music. Oh, my nephew, or my uncle, or my niece, or my little brothers. It's gonna be something. And I think that's because of what the city created. It gave a lot of people hope. It gave a lot of people hope for them to be able to see this, because a lot of these people that you see that are big, like Lil Baby got some homeboys and some relatives and some people that he close to in Oakland City that got hope because of what he was able to do. Same thing with the Migos, the people from the north side, from Gwinnett all the way to Athens. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just music. It's sports and everything. Like a lot of this stuff that we do in our community that's successful is very influential and very infectious. Especially because, you know, we got a very competitive nature. A lot of us do. A lot of people actually still do believe. Some people don't believe because, you know, they really don't want to do the work. And a lot of people so fake. Like I said earlier, you got a lot of people thinking God can't bless who you pretending to be. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be real about what it is that you're trying to do and stand on faith and stand in that space and understand that once you get the blessing, the obstacles to get there, to get where you're trying to go is part of the assignment. A lot of us don't even realize that you were born with the gift. You around here talking about you praying and you've already been put in position. You already got the gift. All you got to just do the work. You praying and praying and praying, but if you're in the right mindset and you put one foot in front of the other every day, it's not about the people who said no. It's about the people who said yes. You know what I'm saying? And I firmly believe, but behind every big no is a bigger yes. But if we sit here and gossip about so-and-so didn't do what I thought they were going to do, and if you didn't do this, and you didn't do that, if you would have did this, if you would have did that, if you would have just kept going, it was a bigger door right in front of your face.
Say that.
I grew up in a big church family, and like you said, it's almost like you're gonna be in church for the rest of your life, screaming like, "I claim it." And all you gotta do is just start taking steps.
You got to start taking steps. Because those things that you think are roadblocks, God put that stuff in place, because if you can, it's like what you said about the artist. If I haven't went through the roadblocks and went through the obstacles and learned and educated myself, I just ran up and signed a contract because somebody seen my talent and I have no knowledge. They know I have no knowledge and they put me on. They're putting you on. Mm-hmm. But if you out here grinding and you working hard and you shining and they see you, oh yeah, I like you. You would have got a better response from the hard work versus the dick riding. But most people don't want to do the work. They think so-and-so can give me an easier way, and then we'll flip it on the other side and say this. Some strangers help me. Y'all wouldn't even help me. Some strangers help me. Well, wasn't you praying to grow? Wasn't that part of the plan? Part of the plan was for you to grow. If us 5 people just like you and we kept liking you and nobody else like you, you wasn't going to grow. So the plan was for you to grow. So rather than you being appreciative of the gift and the success and being able to make it work, you still looking back talking about, y'all didn't do it, you didn't do it. But that same person might have gave you a pair of drawers or took you to the doctor or picked you up from school one time, but it's like
Took you to the studio.
took you to drop you off at the studio, bought you some groceries before, but if they don't do something what you want them to do in that space, it's like you're not trying to help me. But if the gift is your gift, it's up to you to also put that effort into that space and grow yourself outside. It was like old people say, the more you do for yourself, the more people gonna want to do for you because they watching what you doing. So if I come to you and say, hey man, I need $1,000, or they gonna put me out my house. Or if I come to you and say, hey man, I got 400, I'm about to get put out my house, but I need 1,000, but I got 4. These people think if they think you got it, they gonna ask you for the whole amount.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what have you been doing?
Right. So fact.
I like that too, because like it makes me think about capacity, right? So like, let's say I come to you and ask you for something, you don't got much, but you give me, let's say 50% of what you got. Then I go and ask Cuz for something. Cuz might have way more. It might be 5% of what he got, but since it was more than what you gave me, he the one that looked out. But I don't realize that you gave me all you had.
Right.
He sacrificed. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I don't think artists realize that.
Don't nobody realize it.
Nah.
It ain't just artists, it's regular everyday people.
No, shout out my nigga Max O Cream. He said I was on the road with him and he was like, man, he said I tell a nigga yes 100 times, and every time I tell him yes, that man, hey, bro, you got me, man, you the realest nigga ever. The one time I gotta tell him no, I'm a fuck nigga, I'm fake. How I'm gonna act like that? I got it and I ain't done.
But you know what
I
though?
changed
You
up.
know what I recently figured out about people like that? They never were your friends from the start.
Fact.
They felt like that the whole time. They was just really around you because they know you had something to give them, or you can look out for them. Because if somebody that you know is down with you say no, it's not because they couldn't do it for you.
He might have couldn't have did it.
What you're not thinking about is, what have you done for yourself? What have you done? You're asking me to do more for you than you've done for yourself based off of what you think I got.
It's really enabling you because
Yeah.
you ain't gonna never be able to do nothing for yourself because you're gonna need the same thing again tomorrow.
Yep.
And the day after that, or the month after that.
All I'm doing is prolonging whatever your situation is.
For sure.
You're going to get put out.
Right.
Whether it's this month or next month, a month after next,
right.
you're going to get put out.
Fact.
And your whole thing about not getting put out is dependent on what I can give you or what somebody else can give you versus what you've done in the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, knowing that this day was coming.
24 hours.
You got the same 24 hours I got.
Same.
I put my pants on just like you put on your pants.
You might have more 24 hours than I got because yours, you multitasking. Your 24 hours is bust down into 10 things. This nigga got one thing to think about for 24 hours.
Yeah, his one thing.
One bill. Only his bills.
The one thing he's thinking
help
about
him.
for 24 hours is expectations of other people. And expectations is the number one killer of the black community.
Fact.
It killed more people than guns, drugs, sex, and all that. Gang violence, all that. Because when you look at every situation where somebody is mad, it's always based off of something that they didn't do.
No accountability.
Yeah, no accountability, no self-esteem, no responsibility, no will to get out here and get it. It's always, oh, well, you got it. You can give it to me. But guess what? I'll give you more than you asking for if you was doing more for yourself.
And then you put a person on, and then they'll squander the opportunity, and then somehow still make it your fault.
Or you'll put somebody on and they blow up and they'll say you ain't do nothing for them. They did it on their own. Or somebody else made a phone call.
Right.
But it's like, you asked me to do something, I did it.
Right.
And it worked. And now you where you are, but now the other person did all the work.
They did that because of the position that I put you in.
But it all goes back to what I said. That person was never your friend from the start.
Right.
It was just all about what you was gonna give them or what you was gonna do for them. They never was your friend. I tell people sometimes, like, listen, we ain't even gotta play that game. You can ask me for what you want. I don't wanna know your personal business. I don't wanna know what you got going on. Ask me for what you want. Tell me when you're gonna give it back, or tell me I'm not gonna give it back. and let me decide if I'm gonna give it to you or not.
Say that.
Don't come with the manipulative tactics, with the games. Oh man, this going on with my girl and my family, and this going on, and I just need this, and I just need that, and I'm gonna give it back to you on this, and this never happens, and you never call and say this. So what if I would have what if I'd have just ghost you? But the mentality of these people, most people think because they think you got it, it's not a big deal, not understanding you borrowing money from me to pay your rent or your mortgage or your car note or your phone bill. These people can afford to lose your file. The people that you got your house mortgage to, they can afford to lose your file and never get another payment from you, and it's not even gonna affect their bottom line. But you'll take my money and get mad at me when I ask for my money back, but you going out your way to borrow money from me or from somebody else to pay some people that can afford to lose your account. They can lose your paperwork, never send you another bill, you never pay another payment, and it won't hurt them at all. In fact, they're going to put your ass out the house and almost give it away.
Literally.
They're going to sell it at the auction. They're going to sell it for pennies on a dollar.
Right.
But I'm an asshole because I wouldn't do it. I'm an asshole because I want my money back. Because you think I already got enough money in the bank to do what I need to do. I'm just, no. You got to have some accountability for what you said and stand on what you said. Because if I wouldn't have did if I wouldn't have done what I said, where would you be? So why you can't go hard to pay me back like you went hard to ask me for it?
And going hard to pay them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You borrowing money from me to pay them. You borrowing money from me to pay them. And they got billions of dollars. I'm confused.
I love that. I want to wrap it up on this if we could, because I love what y'all was saying, and like I definitely want to talk more about this. But with the accountability, it made me think. Of course, we're at the William, right? Mike Will about to drop his album in what, like an hour, less than that.
Say
Yep.
that.
You feel me? So it made me think about like him losing his files, right, and the accountability that he took upon himself to like grind back and like make this album. And then ironically, 10 years ago, like he was everywhere. You feel me? He took the fuck over. You feel me? But then now we see like this resurgence of that. So like I just want to have y'all input of him, the album, being able to do something like that, and I guess like the totality of like what it looks for an artist to reset or a person to reset. You know what I'm trying to say? And like to be able to continue to do this like decades past, where you started from.
I think it's just understanding the obstacles. Like when you lose something, if you're a good person and you treat people right, when you lose something, you're gonna get back more than what you lost. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like something happens, some tragic happens, you lose your hard drive, somebody steal your computer, you lose some stuff that was valuable to you that you may not never get back, but you're gonna gain something more valuable probably than what you lost.
Yeah, I think it just playing to character too. Like when you didn't have nothing before, so no matter how much you get, when you didn't have nothing before, it's like a certain thing that kick in inside of you. I don't even know what the word for it is, but it's just an innate nature that just kick in. Like when you back to nothing, and you find your way back. Whereas when people who born with everything, sometimes it's tough for them.
Intuition.
Yeah, it's tough for them. Like, okay, if you was born with 10 cars, you know what I'm saying, 5 houses, couple vacation homes, 2 boats. If you have to downsize to, if you got to get rid of both of the boats, downsize to 1 house and a car, them the people that kill themselves because they can't fathom. It's like what you know what I'm saying, the earth is cracked in 2. But if you used to sleeping on the floor,
If a 15-year-old kid can't have a cell phone no more,
you know what I'm saying?
they ready to crash out.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Lose it, throw it all away. You know what I'm saying? So I think with Mike, it was just he didn't have nothing before. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the bare minimum, trying to figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? He remembered them days where he was in the car, and he still got the car over there. You know what I'm saying? Where he had enough gas to get one way. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going anyway.
I'm going anyway.
And I'm gonna figure out how to get back. You know what I'm saying?
And when you come from those humble beginnings, I think it builds a different character trait that gives you a better understanding of accountability and responsibility and appreciation for the gift and what you was able to develop. It's like it's bigger than money.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than money.
Yeah.
It's like people, when you come from humble beginnings, you start understanding that if you got a good character and that you're not just out here trying to impress people and do goofy shit, it's like you have a different appreciation and a different value for what it is you were able to accomplish and pull off. So it kind of puts your mind in a space. So that's why I think with him, the whole reset, I think that's like a whole mindset of everything that I done went through, you know, losing files or, you know, switching up different stuff in business and having to make this change or that change. It kind of makes you like resilient in the game. Like it's like almost like it's nothing that you can be unprepared for because you know it's just another obstacle. Like I can sit here and worry about it or I can deal with it. You only got two choices.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can pout about it, gossip about it, bitch about it, or you can deal with it. You can figure out who in my circle can help me navigate this.
Gotta be solution minded.
Yeah, it's got to be about solutions and not about the problem. But most of us, we want to talk about the problem for 3 weeks without even talking about the solution. Guess what this lame ass nigga did? We want to talk about that for a month versus what's the solution?
Right.
How do we fix it?
Right.
What's the move? What's the play?
Right.
How do we get past it?
Right.
If you stay in how do we get past it mode versus what this lame did or talking about the problem, like I said, if you understand that there's a bigger yes or a bigger opportunity attached to every disappointment, what you consider to be a disappointment, because that disappointment is really all based off of your expectations. God may have a bigger play for you. It's a bigger play right here. But if you praying instead of praying, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? You can't, once you figure out that you can't choose the person that's gonna bless you based off of what you think somebody got, or based off the abilities you think somebody has, once you figure out that you can't pick who's gonna bless you, you just gotta operate in your gift and in that space, and things are gonna start coming to you. People gonna start coming to you. People gonna start sending people to you. Once you really understand that, and you stop just thinking, "Oh, I got it figured out. If I get a beat from Mike Will and a hook from Sway Lee, I'm out of here."
I'm gone.
But if I just keep making music, and put my music out and releasing music and putting music out and building my fan base, you know what I'm saying? You never know. One of these big artists or one of these big producers may hear your music and say, "Hey, look, let me see if I can get so-and-so on the phone. Oh, I know Buddy. I met him at the sneaker show, at Wish or at Walters. Oh, for real? You got his number? Yeah, get him on the phone." The same person ain't getting you on the phone, the same person, you in that DM begging, but because you're not doing the work, it ain't no law of attraction.
Nah.
And most of the people that we be trying to get with, if we look at their story, not long ago, they was in the same place we was in. So rather looking at their story, how they grinded it out, we looking at their story thinking that they our easy way. That's our come up. If I can just get to J. Cole, that's my come up. But you forgot, J. Cole was riding around in a little Honda Civic trying to promote his music and get his thing going. I remember the first time I met J. Cole, he was on me like I was God. You know what I'm saying? But people don't understand that because in our community, all we look at is where you are now. We don't study where you came from. We don't study your humble beginning. So even when we do have a conversation, we can have an intelligent conversation. Like outside of music, when I'm talking to kids in schools and career days with my We Need to Read program, I teach kids like, you got a smartphone. You can know just as much as the person that you're admiring. So when you meet that person and you have that conversation versus I say, hey man, hook me up with Mike. You hook me up with Mike and I'm dumb. Ain't nothing to talk about. But if you hook me up with Mike and I know Logic, I know how to work the MP, I know how to write sheet music, I know how to read music. I done did this, I done did that. So when I have a conversation with Mike, it's like Mike is talking to somebody who don't have the experience as him, as much experience and success, but they got the knowledge, and they got more knowledge of music than he got. You can become a valuable player on this team. But if you just think it's all about a connect and a dream, you're gonna be lost. You gotta have what it takes to go with that dream when you meet that connect. You gotta be attractive to that connect. Or it's just gonna be like, hey man, can you hook me up with Shaq? Okay, what do you have to present to Shaq? I just know if he get involved with this man, he gonna blow up.
That's a fact.
But I'm like, okay, we're talking about Shaquille O'Neal, right? Yeah. We're talking about everything he's done in business, everything he's accomplished, everything he's been a part of. Yeah. So, how many people do you think are coming to him every day with a business idea? And depending on how you got it all set up, you may go in half brain, half cock, and he may say yes. But if the more you do, the more you got done before you go in with the clip loaded, which one you think he gonna rock with?
Yeah, shit.
I guess the last question. Reset coming out in 29 minutes. I guess it's probably more. I mean, Drake probably ready too.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite song on the album? And this ain't coming out till sometime next year.
Uh, he played so many songs for me. I would have to listen to the album because I don't know which ones he used and didn't use. So I know I was here tonight when Luda came and did his verse. That was dope. I actually played that song tonight too on the radio. I like the Travis Porter Mona Leo record. I like that song. I haven't listened to the J. Cole record yet, and I know he just shot the video with Young Thug this week in Miami. So, I mean, the whole thing with Mike is what people don't realize about Mike. Mike is special to the culture because his mindset is really bigger than music. You know what I'm saying? His energy and what he brings to the game, like he does music, and I tell people sometimes, like, if we all doing music, what separates you from everybody else besides your ego? You know what I'm saying? Your ego is telling you your music is better than everybody, but if don't nobody like you, it doesn't matter what your opinion is of your own music. So I think with Mike, the genius of Mike is, of course, his skill set, but the genius of Mike is his mindset and his skill set combined and his personality. Like, he's appreciative of everything that he's involved with from all aspects, from the people that's involved, from the outcome, or whatever happens, whether it's good or bad, he's appreciative of the experience. And I think once you understand how to value experience and to value what's going on over your ego, like, because most people don't get it. Like, you can't, it's biblical. You can't have a job, you can't have an ego in God. So once you start to understand that, and I think Mike, from his humble beginnings and his humble introduction into the game, and him never being one of those egotistical type of persons, he's a confident person, but some people don't know the difference between confidence and ego. Or a butthole and an asshole. It's a difference.
Fact. It's a fact. I'll say, like, when I think of the word reset, it's like recalibration. So when something resets, it's things that's happening inside of that machine or whatever that you don't see yet. So like take a video game, when you hit the reset button on it, it looked like it shut off. Or even your Mac, your computer, when you hit the button, that machine is going through a process on the inside before it pop back on and show you actual beginning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a pre-beginning, like a beginning that you don't really see that happens, and then after that thing happens, then the beginning that you see happens. So the screen pops back on, and then you type your password in, and then but before that could happen, that machine had to reset itself from within. So I feel like that's what this album it represent. And bro, he a first of like. It wasn't producers weren't before he the blueprint. Like the producers weren't producing the way he produced until he did it, and then he became the standard. Okay, this is how it's done. You know what I'm saying? Like producers weren't like treated as full blown artists. It was like you had producers that were artists, you had artists that produced, you had but a producer being put on blogs and being mentioned like an artist, not without his collaborators being a part of the article or the interview, and them not getting a word from them. They just all only talking about Mike Will. It's just yeah, Mike Will said this. Mike Will dropped this song. What song? So Mike Will dropped this. Like that he was literally the first one. So whenever you're a first of, it's like you kind of cemented in history. So you it's something about you already that already separates you from the rest. And as long as you don't quit, it's just gonna keep, you know what I'm saying, it's in you. You know?
Right.
Yeah, so you don't even know how to be nothing else. So I felt like that was, even though his hard drives, it was a terrible thing. It was a test in the sense that like all of us gonna go through something, no matter what level. We always hitting a new level one. We always trying to get to another level, but we only getting to a new level one. Cause like, look at you've already had it. Like if you quit today, you had an illustrious career, a legendary career. But right now, you got somewhere that you're trying to go. You're not like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, I made it. You literally at the level. We looking at you like you on level 1,000, but in your mind, you're on level 1.
Exactly.
And you like, man, how do I get this?
Reset.
You know what I'm saying? It's a reset. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, after you get to that next level, that's the reset. Boom. Then you get to another level, and that's another reset. You always on level 1.
Well, it's the people who really doing it for the outcome and not the income.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You just want to see things work. You want to see different things work. You want to create different things. You want to help different people. And when you on that wave, it's like it don't ever stop. Like you don't ever get old.
Facts.
Because your mind is totally different. Like
Right.
you're not working toward a destination.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There ain't no finish line.
And you've been the same since you've been like you not like most people try to subscribe to certain things with age, and that's to me that's the word that's dying to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like age is nothing but experience.
Yep.
It's not some marker that says, okay, because I hit this number on the calendar, now I have to dress this way or talk this way or be this way. You gotta be who you want to be. Age just is experiences. Age means, okay, I done seen this before, I done did this before. It's like game, it's knowledge, it's wealth of knowledge. And I think that's how people got to start treating it and stop trying to like cancel out your OGs or your big homies or trying to put a date on them or put a sticker on them or put an expiration date on something, because you could be fresh forever. And I ain't gonna. To me, that's what the reset also it represent. Like you got records on here from artists that we've been knowing for a long time, and artists that we just heard of yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And all of it is at the same tier, just because when you got a person that really understands how to produce and they come with a vision and they open to suggestion. They don't, like you said, they don't know it all. He want to know what you think.
Yep.
He want to know what everybody in the room think. The person that he just met that day, he ain't going, I don't know, your opinion don't count yet. Nah, I ain't never seen you before. What you think? It's like it becomes a positive. So like you asked what you said favorite records. I'd say right now, the Side Baby one. That's really my joint.
Side Baby.
Yeah. I love that one. Like Russian Roulette. That's my joint with Slime.
That's the one they just shot.
Yeah, yup. I love that one. The 21 record. I love that one. That one, the 21, that was my favorite one for the longest. It's too many. Obviously the T-Zone, Little One, yeah, like that one is just.
Oh yeah.
It represent a certain texture of Atlanta that haven't just been presented in a while since, you know what I mean? Since that, like, you know the records, you broke them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like them certain records that had that feel like that when when you ride in the car with your auntie. You know what I'm saying?
And
She singing.
Reset to me is like Mike's playlist album. It's not really just about singles and
Facts.
a record for the radio or a record for the club or a record for this or a record for that, even though he got the records for the clubs and the records for the radio. I think it's really more about
Culture.
it's more about culture, and it's really more about being in a space where you can be creative without expectations. You know, just creating something, creating art, creating something that you really have a passion for, and having enough balls to put it out there
Pushing the boundary.
and pushing the boundaries and just, doing what you do and what you got a passion for.
Like he ain't focus on an era. He didn't focus on it sound like it has no reference point. Like like the OJ record do feel like OJ. You know what I'm saying? It do,
OJ gonna feel like OJ is kind of like the Atlanta Too Short.
You know what I'm saying? On God.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to do nothing super crazy. It's like
it's a lane. You know what it is.
it's a lane.
You know it, yeah.
I don't have no rear view mirrors. I don't have no side view mirrors. I'm in my lane.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about everything y'all doing.
I don't care what's going on in traffic.
I know my people love me, and I do what they like me to do. I do what I love to do, and they just happen to like it because it hasn't changed.
Oh God. And then, like you said, and for a record like that to exist, then you got the Tizo record that's completely like genre bending type shit. Then then the CeeLo record.
Yep.
We go to church.
It's the reset.
It's
Live from the William.
For sure. Too many. Oh, the J. Cole. Oh yeah, the J. Cole one. That was it. That was the last minute.
When he came through.
Yeah, that was the. I was. You done recording? Okay, yeah. So so the J. Cole one.
All right, I got you.
And then, like I said, we got 9 different questions if we make them through all. First one. So we talk about Atlanta still setting the pace in hip hop. It said, is Atlanta still setting the pace in hip hop, or is the city now feeding a bigger machine? The question is, how does Atlanta continue shaping sound, language, and culture across generations? And does the city still fully own that influence?
The city of Atlanta definitely shapes the culture, not just of Georgia and Atlanta, but just of the world. Music is art, and there's a lot of stuff coming out of other cities also. So, we're not going to discount LA. We're not going to discount New Orleans and Memphis and Dallas and Houston and Philly, DC, and New York and all the other places. But Atlanta is like, it is what it is. When you watch it, because like I often tell people on different podcast platforms that when they talk about Atlanta sound, I think we touched on this a little bit on the last episode, there really is no Atlanta sound. None of the music really sounds alike. When you had like the snap movement, some of the stuff kind of sounded similar. When you had the booty shake music, some of it sounded a little similar. Even some of the trap music sounds a little similar, but it's really about a genre or a wave, quote unquote, that's been established. But a lot of stuff in the wave don't sound the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people who was in the swag movement, and they music didn't sound in the futuristic movement. J Money records didn't really sound just like Young LA's records, like the beats. Ain't I was totally different from the first name, last name. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. When you try to compare like Travis Porter and Soulja Boy and all the different artists like Waka Flocka and Gucci, and like none of this music really sounds the same. So it's the arguments and the conversations to me really they really just be monkey. Like for people to be making the statements that they be making about trying to compare everything, because I mean that's one of the biggest things in our community that hold us back. In our community, we try to figure out a way to put everything against each other and make comparisons, and if this and if that and this like this and this like that and like music is art. You know, it's art, and if you really understand art, art is not scientific.
Why would you say that certain parts of Atlanta culture get celebrated until institutions, I guess, have publicly been able to stand beside them? So, question: when Atlanta's raw cultural spaces become part of larger conversations, why does that create discomfort, I guess, amongst other people that don't necessarily understand?
I mean, the culture creates discomforts in some areas when things become mainstream. You know, when something becomes mainstream because it has become so big and so influential, people are willing to write checks to I wouldn't manipulate maybe the wrong word, but it becomes a business. The business becomes just as big as what was created. And once it becomes a business, it's gonna not just cross over different boundaries, but it's gonna cross over different budgets. You know, the budgets become different. The rollout becomes different. The different places you see stuff becomes different because you got a lot of machines. A lot of this stuff that's organically coming out the hood, once you get into a machine, it's totally different.
It makes sense. It's almost like like Magic City night
Exactly.
with the Hawks.
Yep.
Like it's cool while it's still cultured, like it's still kind of sheltered. But then when you open it up to mainstream, now everybody got.
Well, the whole thing with Magic City and the Hawks was really it was a clever promotion. I think they came with too much lead time to give people too much time to complain and figure out how they could stop it. Like 4 weeks was too much. If they'd have came with like a week and a half, 2 weeks, because I mean, you already knew the hoodies was gonna sell out. So if you had the hoodies and everything ready to go, you gave yourself 10, 14 days, you could have pulled it off. But everybody got into an uproar because, you know, you kind of cross collateralizing the NBA with the strip club culture, and we all know the owners of the NBA teams, the coaches and the players and people behind the scenes, they all go to the strip club. They into the culture, so I think the missed point about the whole Magic City thing with the Atlanta Hawks was it really was more about the Hawks playing the Orlando Magic on a Monday night. So that was like the chemistry of what they was trying to cultivate and put in the forefront. Magic City Monday with the Hawks playing the Orlando Magic in State Farm Arena. And of course, the Magic City Wings are very popular in the sports world and in the gentleman's club and the men's entertainment world. So I think it was just a whole big play because, I mean, you're trying to say the gentleman's club is no worse than gambling. You know what I'm saying? You got, in fact, the gambling billboards were still up until Monday night for the game. The FanDuel and all the different games, the different sports betting platforms, some of them still had their billboards up after they had pulled the promotion down. I took pictures of some of them over the weekend before the game on Monday. No, the billboards were still up for the gambling billboards, for the gambling platforms. Their billboards were still up.
Just thinking about like black culture. I feel like if they can benefit from it, I think that's other people in general. Like black people, we can find a way to like correlate with a black stranger. But for like white folks in general, like they're not gonna. They ain't thinking about if they can't benefit from you. Yeah, they don't care too much. There's no relationship.
I don't think it's really that white people are all about the benefit from things from black people. A lot of white people are actually into a lot of cultural things that we do. I mean, you go on TikTok, you got old white men on there breakdancing, rapping old school rap songs with their kids. Like a lot of this culture is not a color line. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think a lot of these older white people were into Planet Rock and Jam On It and Uncle Luke and all these records way back in the day, Run DMC At the beginning of rap, they was down with this. Tupac, NWA, Easy E, LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white people was loved that music. Like it wasn't. I don't think. I think sometimes we think a little bit too deep into the race side of different things when it comes to our culture. Like I understand there's a line, but sometimes in culture and sometimes in different things you really can't draw a line because it's the person. It depends on the person.
All right, next question, Greg. Do you feel like are rappers allowed to grow, or do you feel like the audiences only want the version that they first connected to? And if so, how would you say that like artists, I guess, how do artists evolve without losing the audience that first connected to them while they're growing in their own like just personal life journey?
Um, in our community, like we're really extremist. Like if we either like it or we don't like it. So when we attach to something that we organically attached to, depending on who it is, depending on how they're growing as a person, depending on how authentic they were with what they were doing from the beginning, because a lot of these people are not authentic about what they're doing from the beginning. They doing it just to get on. They think if I do this, I'm gonna get on. Now, I heard a video I reposted the other day. It's like, God can't bless who you pretend to be. So a lot of times you might get caught out there thinking that you done did something to get on, and then when it explodes, it really wasn't you, and now you got an issue with the people that you built your foundation from. But for people who are really genuine about their art and they're really creative, there's always room for them to grow and for their organic or their original foundation, their original audience to grow with them, because their original audience was really into what they were into from the beginning, from day one.
And I read somebody, I think Seth Godin, it's like a marketing guru. He said that he said nobody really wants authenticity. They want you to be consistent. So like they're not coming to you to be authentic. Only like your mom and your family want you to be authentic. But the actual audience that you're creating something for wants you to just be consistent. You feel like that's true,
Well,
or
when it comes to being authentic, and when it comes to being authentic, and when it comes to creating something just to supply demand, that situation can really get sticky, because you may think that your audience just wants you for the character, and characters do work, but a lot of people who create characters are really attached to the character, like they are really into the character, and if it's really something that they built and a audience attaches to it and likes it, if they really understand the person and know the person, they know the person is in character. So there also leaves room for them to grow in their authentic self. Because if they like you and they know you're a character, once you put yourself in settings and environments to where they can really tap into who you really are, it's really like you get a chance to be two people. Not even choose, you just get to be two people. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Some people might like you for this, some people might like you for that.